What is going on, everybody? Landon here from Home Service Business Coach, and wherever you're watching this on YouTube, podcast, so happy to have you here. We got a good one for you today. We're going to be talking about the top 5 sales rejections and how to handle them. And this is strictly focused on home service for you home service business owners, okay? I've spoken to thousands of home service business owners, and I've spoken to tens of thousands of prospects in various industries, okay? And if you're always going to come across 3 to 5 main objections, whether that's price or spouse or competition, whatever that is. And it blows my mind how many people don't know how to work around this simple objection. Like, let's say, for example, out of every 10 prospects you talk to, 4 of them are going to give you price objections. And if you don't know how to deal with the price objections, that means you lose all 4. But let's say, for example, you were able to, instead of as 4 of them object, 2 of them you're able to actually convert and close. What would that do to your bottom line? Let's say your average ticket is 500 or your average ticket is 5,000. By you closing 2 more extra jobs per 10 quotes, yeah, your closing percentage increases. Not really concerned about that. Maybe not even your average ticket size even grows, but you add an additional 1,000 or in the other example, $10,000 worth of additional revenue to the bottom line, which that can be the difference. Again, if we expand out with referrals, incentives, reviews, that could be the difference in you being booked 1 week out to being booked out literally a month, and we got to get another truck on the road. Okay. And it all comes down to this. This is why we are, in my estimation, kind of why we're experiencing objections. Okay. And the reason for this is that people don't want to make a decision is because they don't want to be wrong. That is what I believe genuinely in my soul is the reason why. Okay. And it's the reason why maybe you're hesitant to come on board with HSBC, but we're not even going to talk about that right now. Okay. Because, guys, I want to give you the tools. And they're just one. I'm only going to give you one example on how to handle these. And this is the top one that I went through. And you're going to hear some familiar ones, which if you're hearing something you've heard before, probably means it works. You should probably be doing it. Okay. All right. Let's get into it, guys. Observations about closing, and then we're going to touch on the top 5. So, number 1, 10% of people never buy. Do not dwell on them. Number 2, 10% of people, regardless, will buy from you. They didn't even really need you. As soon as you showed up, they're ready to buy. Just don't oversell it. Mistake I've made plenty of times, don't oversell. Number 3, though, 80% of people need help deciding. And that frick is why we train people. Expect the no, don't be surprised by it, okay? But if you keep receiving the no and you don't know how to work around it, it is your fault. You have to take ownership over that. But again, that's why you're here listening or watching, is to get the tips and tools and advice you need in order to increase and grow your company to the next level. So what the heck are even the top 5 rejections? And for those watching, you have a bit of a upper hand than those listening. And for those listening, link to this document will be below the YouTube video, so go check it out. Home Service Business Coach, top 5 objections and how to handle them. You'll find it below. Okay, top objections. Number 1, price. Number 2, competition. Number 3, timing. Number 4, credibility. Number 5 is the spouse. I've not ranked these in from most common to least common. I'm just giving you the top 5. Again, we kind of know, order them however you'd like. Okay, so I'm just going to give you one objection handle and how the heck to handle this. This is going to be really tactile and quick and simple and to the point. Okay, you've heard me use this one before, but this is going to be what I call Susan. Okay, to caveat this, do not rip me off. Do not lie when using this. You've had an experience by now in your business with a similar situation. Use that. Don't rip me off, but this one is so powerful. Okay, so Susan, totally understandable, Susan. But here's my thing. I just don't want you to make a potential mistake. And the reason why I tell you this is that Susan had a very similar issue. She was concerned about price or the competition or credibility. Again, insert whatever the objection is. And she just decided the value wasn't there, and she went with another company, right? They're great guys. But 2 weeks later, I got a call, and Susan is in an absolute panic. I'm like, yo, Susan, like, who died? Like, what's going on, right? So she tells me the other company came. and they did the, again, insert your service guys. They did the inserted service, but they just didn't do it up to her standards. And for me, Mrs. Smith, it just sounds like you have the same standards as Susan, just from talking with the both of you. So she tried calling him back, and she couldn't get a hold of him. So for a couple weeks, it's been eating her up. So that's when she finally, I guess, kind of came to the end of herself and gave us a call. Okay. And this is kind of what happened, right? Not only did she have to pay the other guys, go through 2 weeks of mental and physical turmoil, but she also had to go with the original quote that we initially came and what I'm presenting to you today. So not only did she have to spend more money, but more importantly, she lost out on her most precious resource, and that's her peace of mind and time. And I just am wanting to make sure that you don't make the same mistake, because regardless if you move forward with us or not, I just want to ensure you have all the relevant information to make an informed decision. Shut up. That's the fastest way I've handled price each and every single time. It makes sense. It's a story. People attune to it and can relate to it right there. So at the end, I just want to make sure you have all the information to make an informed decision. Are you opposed to moving forward? Does that make sense to you? What makes the most sense to you right now? Ask for the sale. Okay, number 2. So we handled price. Now we're going to touch on competition. Okay. Thing with competition is you need to have a why choose us, and that's either in your mind or actually printed out that you can present to prospects. But you need to have a minimum of 3 reasons of why clients have chosen you in the past, or what makes you different from your other competition. Okay, more specifically. And very common, I'm going to call you out, and you know who you are. Your 3 most common things are: we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee, we're a family-owned business, and we do excellent work. If that is you, you're no different than your competition. No wonder you're struggling with this objection. Okay? Like, everybody in the entire world can offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee, because firstly, how do you guarantee that in a real sense in the home service industry? How do you do that, right? Because it's just verbal, which means you can say whatever you want. Number 2, every home service competition you have is family ran or is owned by a local business owner. Nobody really cares about that anymore. They just want to make sure the job's done. Like, that kind of feel good, this is a family run company, is very cool. But go look at your competition, and chances are, I've looked at thousands of websites across the United States, Canada, the UK, Australia. It's cool. Yeah, but do you see Amazon? Do you see Walmart? Do you see Nike? Do you see these big companies all centered around family ran? Not really, right? And then number 3, we pride ourselves on the work. If you didn't, you shouldn't be in business, right? So that's not really unique. And I really want to call you guys out that think that, oh, those are my 3 reasons that popped up, and you know who you are, right? So this is how I would handle this, okay? So why choose us? Competition, okay? We have always, Mrs. Smith, encouraged our other customers to get multiple quotes as it holds us accountable, right? But chances are we'll be one, if not the most expensive quote you receive, and I just want you to understand why. Then you're going to go list all the reasons as to why you're different from your competition, okay? Because the only reason the competition comes up is because they're cheaper than you, or why, again, it's always going to be about price. But let's say it's like, hey, I really like this guy, why should I choose you guys? Okay, it's the exact same thing. It handles both of them at once, right? So for an example, Mrs. Smith, a big reason why our quote is more, or why you should use us, is because we pay our technicians a living wage employer, a living wage or above industry average. This means our team will clean your home as if it were their own. Another reason is we donate 3% of all of our jobs back to insert a charitable cause that your company supports. If you have that, we follow up with the job once it's finished to ensure you're completely happy. We have insert the amount of Google reviews you have from other satisfied clients. Our clients hire us repeatedly and refer us to neighbors and friends. Hiring a local business that helps create jobs for those who live in your city. Our technicians are super friendly, courteous, do amazing work. We're fully insured with the local governing board and have X amount of in liability insurance. You get the point. Okay, so pretty much holds us accountable. Totally get it, Mrs. Smith. But chances are we will be the most expensive. And again, it's a great question. Why the heck should you choose us? Then list all your reasons. Okay, so we've handled competition now. Number three is going to be timing. Let me think about it. Okay, and this is a phenomenal one. This works like absolute clockwork. I want to think about it. I just don't know if it's the right season to do this. I'm just getting a couple quotes. Could be fall, this, that, and the third, whatever it is. Okay, let me think about it. The timing. This is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so we don't need time, but rather information. This is kind of the rocking chair. You've probably heard this before on social media. Let me give it to you for the home service, though. Mrs. Smith, when you say you need to think about it, you don't really think you're gonna think about it, right? Like, I don't mean to be like rude, but just from my experience, and again, I do the exact same thing. What's probably gonna happen is that you're gonna go home, you know, uh, you're not going to go home and contemplate whether you should do this thing or not. You're not going to sit in your favorite chair. What should I do? Of course not. You're a busy homeowner, right? Again, you can insert their career or whatever that is, right? But in this case, you're a busy homeowner, right? You have a million things to do. Once I leave, you're going to have to go pick the laundry up or change the laundry, fold the laundry, pick the kids up from school, cook dinner, go grocery shopping, work out, plan your next family getaway, plan your next date with Mrs. Or Mr. So and so. Use all the information you have gathered against them. Okay, guys. So you have to plan your next date with Mrs. Johnson. Then from 5 days from now, you're going to be looking through that dirty window, pulling up to your driveway with gross gutters, staring at your lawn that is continuously growing, looking at that yellow wall you can't stand. Again, insert your service. And in that moment, you'll think, I should have done that thing. And it's in that moment when you made the decision. Then you're going to have to either call another company back or go through this and go through this entire process again, or even worse, you're not even going to get the thing done. You're going to go 6 months or even a year or even more, right? Until it gets painful enough. And worst of all, you still won't have clean gutters, which can lead to roof damage. You still won't have a clean lawn, which drives the property value of your home down. You're still going to be staring at that ugly yellow wall that's going to drive you insane. So, in my personal opinion, you don't need time in order to make a decision, but rather information, Mrs. Smith. And since I'm the best source of information you have, what are the main things you're thinking through? Done deal. A little lengthy, but it works every time because it makes so much sense because they know you're right. Then you can draw what are they scared of? Okay, number four, number five, credibility and spouse. Let's rip through, and I got a bonus one for you as well too after. Okay, so those on YouTube, not going to show you just yet. We're going to have to hold on. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. And if you are enjoying this, guys, drop a comment at YouTube or share the show. That's what we ask for. Share the show. Okay, we can only help so many people that are aware of us. And just so you want more people to be aware of your business because you provide a great service, I hope you're gaining some value from this. Please send it to other local business owners or whoever you think would, or drop it in one of your Facebook communities. I dare you. I challenge you that you won't. Drop this, grab the link, drop it in the community as well. Because again, as the home service industry changes and we in this home service industry grows, the more that we can raise the standard, it means a rising tide lifts all boats and sinks those that are not with the path. Okay, so the level of excellence that you guys hold yourself to, we can bring that across the United States, across Canada, across the world. So let's do that. And that's only done by sharing this information so that others get access to it. Okay, sweet. So let's go into it. Number four, credibility. With credibility, I absolutely love this, and this is super good. Like you can use this for pretty much anything. Again, you can see how they're all like kind of transferable. A couple keywords here or there, gone. You can move them. Get creative. That's what I asked of you. But Google reviews. Ms. Smith, that is a great question. Why the heck should you trust this? Why the heck should you choose this? Would be another example, right? And I could go on about how great of a job we'll do, how we aim to under promise and over deliver, and how we offer 100% satisfaction guarantee. But ultimately, that really doesn't matter to you. What matters is what other customers are saying about us. And Mrs. Smith, have you had a chance to check out our Google reviews? Awesome, awesome. So is there anything that makes you think we will not be able to do the same job for you? Uncover what the real thing is. Price, spouse, whatever that is, okay? You can also do this if they haven't seen it. That's where you have your phone. Boom, there it is, done deal. Here's our reviews. Your buildings, and that's probably one of the best ways because it's instantaneous right there. They can see it right there. Okay, Last one, spouse, and then we're gonna get into the bonus, and then we'll wrap this puppy up. So hopefully you found some value this far. Spouse is super simple. There are 1,000 ways to do it. I'll go into it on another training, and we'll get really tactical and clinical with the spouse. But spouse is really simple. Hey, Mrs. Smith, what part do you think they would not approve of? Whatever the answer they give is the answer why they don't want to do it. And this is so freaking powerful. Okay? Hey, Mrs. Smith, what part do you think they would not approve of? I need to talk to my husband. No problem. Mrs. Smith, is there any part do you think that they would not approve of? No? Yes? Whatever reason they give you is the reason they don't want to do it. I'm going to repeat that again, okay? Because it's so important. So, with the spouse, keep it dead easy. Keep it simple. There's 100,000 ways to do it. Hey, Mrs. Smith, what part do you think they would approve of? Oh, I don't think they would disapprove of anything. Okay, cool. Then why do you need to talk to them? Logical, makes sense, right? Like if they wouldn't approve, like, oh, well, we always talk about, purchases above 500 together, price. Then we can circumvent up to price, work from there. Okay. Last one, bonus. Bonus is the final push. Okay. And the final push is as follows. 4 questions, I should say, you can ask them at any objection, anything. Do you believe our service will accomplish why you called us out here today? Do you trust us as a company? Do you think it'll work for you the way you want it to go? Does it make sense to move forward with our service today? That is it. Right there, by you just asking, you will close probably 10 to 15% more deals from personal experience. You will. You have to ask. So, guys and gals listening, I hope this finds you well. I hope that you were able to take this. Everybody complicates this, right? The goal with this podcast is I want you to close one more deal per month. That's it. If you do that, I think we've proven ourselves to you that all the other areas you're struggling with, your leads, your hiring, your financials, whatever that is. I hope that, again, this 17-minute podcast will give you the value that you need, and that maybe you'll trust us to come in and help your business, because it's a risk either way we do it. It's just, do you want to do the risk of trying it on your own and having that kind of ego boost and pride of I did it on my own, or do you want to again get out of your way, as we've done this hundreds of times, and get with a proven system and a proven model that is going to work for you? And the reason I can say it's 100% is going to work for you is if you show up and do the work, and we even have to schedule a call in the first place, we got to figure out if we like each other. We got to even figure out if we can help you. Because again, I know the vast majority of you don't believe this when I say this. We can't help everybody, and I will turn you away if I don't think you're a good fit with us. Okay, it's just dead easy, simple as that. So you literally got nothing to lose. Okay, I'm not gonna pressure sales you. I'm not gonna call you 50,000 times a day. Take that leap of faith. Schedule this phone call with me. It's the same number my girlfriend and my mom gives. You've heard me say this before, and I look forward to that. So schedule this call below, either the podcast or the YouTube. Take care, everybody. Hope this finds you well, and go close one more deal a month. Let us prove ourselves to you. Take care.